It's not about smuggled. It's the most important subject to discuss. Why this is smuggled? Before I come to the subject, let me emphasize what Honorable has just said.
On the discipline.
I tell you,
it's
the worst thing that is happening to us and nobody wants to talk about it. And the people come and talk about human rights. That nonsense thing sometimes we do, I don't understand it. A child is going wayward. And when the child is being disciplined, and somebody comes and says it's against the child's human rights, how can correcting a child from wrongdoing be against human rights?
When the Bible says, spare the rod and spoil the child.
So human rights is that allow the child to misbehave and go wayward. That is the explanation we give to human rights, especially when it comes to correcting children. And I say, how can you say a child who the law even says that is too young, not capable of taking a decision for him or herself until 18, and therefore until 18, every decision of a child needs to be taken on his or her behalf by the parent. By the parent who is supposed to sign all legal documents for that child, you are saying that he has no right to correct the child when the child is going wrong. It's one of the most annoying things that is happening in this country, and nobody wants to talk about it. And the ones who talk about it say human rights. Please, it's not everything that they bring us to human rights, not human rights. We should be able to let people know that this has nothing to do with human rights. Correcting a child and making the child go the right way has nothing to do with human rights.
Are there different forms of correcting the child?
There are different forms, but each of them is complementary. As Honorable has said, it got the time I stopped schooling, my mother didn't know. Because my father was in a shaman, I am in Tongo with my mother. My mother wakes up in the morning, goes to the farm, leaves food, and say, Elvis, dress and go to school. I say, yes. And then when she's gone, I eat the food, then I go enjoy boys, we go to the river to go and fish. For like 2 years, my mother didn't know that I wasn't going to school.
What?
So one day a teacher saw my mother say, why is Elvis not coming to school? I said, what? Elvis doesn't come to school. Say, I stopped school long time. Say, every day I'm going to I leave Elvis food and say, you come to school. And Elvis will come. And my mother came home. That day I felt it.
Yeah.
She beat me very well. She said, okay, you are a boy, I can't take care of it. She bundled me, packed my bags, put me in the car, come and dump me at my father's place in Asham and say, you will not come to me again for the rest of your life. If I see you again, you see what I'll do to you. Okay? My father sent me back to go and stay with his mother. It's only 2 towns away from my mother. Okay? But I could never even step in my mother's place because of the warning she gave me. Look, on Mondays, our teachers will be giving us lashes on campus. Sometimes the parents have to come and find out what is happening. Okay? Because there were a lot of truants among us.
Yeah.
Okay? Thursday is a market day. And Friday is a market day at Germany. Most of the boys and girls will run to go and look for some small money.
Yeah.
You will be in the market. The headmaster will send the school prefect to come and tell you that you are not in school. You either report to school or Monday when you come, Kate is waiting for you. You either run away from the market and go to the school, or on Monday, you will be lashed very well. We were lashed. Headmaster, some of the teachers, John Nimo, Atipo, Akrasi.
Some of them are actually known for killing.
I'm telling you, and the headmaster, Denucci, these people, when they get you, the way they will lash you, they go beyond the classroom. On weekends, on weekends, they visit our homes and ask our parents whether we are behaving well at home or not.
Yeah.
So if they come and your parents complain that you are being a truant, that alone is reason for lashing on Monday. Because they went rounds and they say, your parents says you are being truant. They will lash you.
Yeah.
So parents and teachers were coordinating to make sure that we do not go wayward. Because you know that when you misbehave in the house, even if your grandmother or if you are saying your grandmother can't beat you, Monday you are finished. We had electricity in town, but our school headmaster says you are not to leave your home after 7 p.m. So if you say you have been sent by your parent, you have to carry a lantern to prove that you have been sent. If you are caught in town without a lantern, it means that nobody sent you. You will be last Monday in school. That is how some of us were able to get to where we are. Because as kids, we say things that we think that, it's normal. But it's a childish mindset.
Yeah. We
are only doing things for the fun of it. We're only doing things because we are trying. But some of the things we do for trying is just leading us astray. It's just leading us astray. And until we are corrected, we will not even know that we are going astray because we are kids. So when I hear people make the argument that kids should not be corrected, kids should not be lashed, look, some of us is lashing that change us. Without lashing, we will not change. Because if you come and call me, go and face the corner. That is what parents do. Yeah, today you face the corner. What's the meaning of facing the corner?
You are grounded.
You are grounded. Today you can't leave your room. And the child is on iPad and having to
I'll seize your tablet.
Please, look. Let's understand that as young people, children, we all know that they don't have the capacity to know that what I'm doing is likely to lead me into distraction.
Yeah.
That is why when juvenile even offend, we don't send them to prison. We send them to correctional centers.
Yeah.
Because it's globally understood that children, their brains have not developed to a point where they can know that this thing has consequences or that. So if we are taking care of children and we cannot collaborate with parents to do things, and we think that the best thing is now to rather be antagonistic to teachers, that is what happens. In my school in Parliament, Uganda, I told you all this have happened. With this nonsense of beating children's human rights and the rest, now parents are able to even organize people to go and beat up teachers for correcting their children in the school. Parents who organize people that my child has come to complain to me that a teacher has lashed him or her in school, and they will go and beat up the teacher. What kind of system are we talking about here? I think that as a nation we must put our foot down. Until the child is 18 years, he must be under full correction and control of both parents, teachers, and everybody. You live in a village and an elder see you do something, will whip you. And when it brings you home and come and tell your parents, you're going to give you another one. And then you know that there's nowhere to hide. Because when anybody is in town, the person has the right to correct you.
True.
And if you make a mistake and come and complain to your parents that this man has lashed me, and they found out what you did, you are even dead in the house. That is how we all realize that, no, we are kids and we are not allowed to do certain things. But today,
we've even lost that communal way of living, where everyone's child is another person's child. We've lost it.
It's gone.
And all because of this thing called
human rights.
Labeling everything human rights. How can correcting a child that can't think maturely, and if the child is going wayward, and somebody is trying to correct the child and say you can't go that way because it won't help you in the future, and they will interpret it to me a human right abuse. How do we do that?
Brighter Pierre will not be happy with.
No.
Will not be happy with the two of us this morning.
Child Rights International.
This is the reality we are facing. You see, and this is why we have subjected ourselves to everything that comes from the West. This nonsense of human rights for everything must stop. When I was in the village, sometime in the morning I have to wake up and go and make firewood to the house where I go to school. Sometimes when I close from school, my grandmother will take the food to the farm. Because if you leave the food at home, when I eat, I'm going to play football. I'm not going. So you take the food to the house, to the farm, and leave a message. And when you come, your food is in the farm. Because when you go to the farm, you carry cassava or you carry firewood or something to the house. Nobody called it child abuse, child labor. Today, somebody comes and say when a child carries small load on the head, it's child labor. When a child is carrying a bucket of water, it is child labor. When a child accompanies the parents to the farm, it's child labor. How did we get here? This is how we learned how to farm from our parents. Because you go to the farm, when it's the planting of maize, you are part of the planting of the maize. So you are even learning agriculture from that young age. Because when you grew up in the village, in my area, your most option is farming. So you start learning it as a kid by going to the farm with your parents. Know that this is how you plant maize, this is how you plant cassava, this is how you weed, this is how you protect this one. But now somebody is telling us that you don't let
this should be done on days the child is not going to school. On days the child is not going to school.
Yes, because on the days you didn't go to school, when you close, you go to the
farm. So it should not be a replacement for the child's education.
Now they say it's called child labor. So a cocoa farmer going to the farm with the child is child labor. We have to let people know that not everything from the West is good for us. I'm so passionate. I'm happy Honorable mentioned this. Children must be corrected. If not, I'm telling you, in the next 10, 15 years, we'll have a society where there is so much waywardness. We are losing our values and everything under the guise of something called human rights. This does not qualify as human rights. They say the WAEC results. I always say that people don't take time to analyze the results when it comes. I do because there are a lot of hidden things in the report that if you don't analyze very well, you will think that something untoward has happened. But for me, when I do the analysis, I don't really see much change. See, when you see WAEC results for every year, when they release results, they will not tell you that they are withholding maybe 200,000 individual results. They will just tell you that, the results of maybe 100 schools are being withheld. people don't take a look at the number. So what I do is, how many people actually candidates start for the exams? I take that number. How many of the results they have cancelled? I put it down there. Then I add the results they released for A1 to A6, D7, E8, and F9, and I put it together. When you do that for each subject, you realize there's a vast difference between the total number that took the exams and the results that have been released. Then you can now know the number of subject papers that are being held for each paper.
Right.
When you do that and you look at it, you realize that what happened this year, it's not anything much different for anybody to be complaining about. But why I could not give you all these details? Let me give you an example of social studies. Social studies used to hold a lot of the results that all the papers. This year, what happened to social studies? They've released almost the entire results of social studies. They released almost the entire results because they said they've cancelled about 6,000 results. And then the only results cancelled plus not released is only 10,000. So it means that the results for social studies that has not been released is less than 5,000. But in previous social studies, go and check. They withheld results over 30,000, 40,000 for social study at the time the result is released.
Right.
So people will think that there's some massive failure in social studies. No, it's because almost the entire results of social study has been released. If they have withheld 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 of social studies results, the pass rate will not be that low and everybody will be complaining. So people have not paid attention to that. Compared to mathematics, with mathematics alone, they are withholding 73,000 results. They are withholding 73,000 results for core mathematics. Core mathematics. They are withholding 73,000 results. So if you don't take your time subject by subject and do the analysis, you will not recognize where the issues are. And then you think that it is some massive failure. The social studies issue is not a massive failure. It's not a massive failure. If you go to the past 10 years, you look at every result WAEC has released, they withhold. In fact, last year, I think they withheld over 200,000 subject results. But this year, the total number of subject results withheld is about 167,000. So it means that this year they released more results than last year. But the number who even took the paper this year are more than last year's numbers. So if you do a comparative analysis of the figures, it is not that something really significant has happened. But because the way they put the statistics, if you don't take your time to study it, you'll be thinking that, oh, this year the children have failed significantly. It is not true. Anybody can go and pick last year's figures and do the analysis and say, see the number of results that were withheld last year compared to the number of results that have been withheld and cancelled this year. And then do the analysis and extrapolate that last year, those who even took the paper, the numbers were less than the numbers that took the paper this year. And compare. You realize that really there's not much that has happened that is different. So let's not be, I've always been saying that somebody needs to do a second work on WAEC. A student pass elective mathematics but fails core mathematics. You ask yourself, how? How does the student pass elective maths, which is more difficult, and fails core mathematics? You ask yourself, is it that there's a marking error somewhere? Nobody checks WAEC papers for marking errors. And I think that's about time we take a second look at WAEC that after they are done, there should be some independent verification of work that has been done.
Perhaps we can do some sampling.
Because I believe that a lot of the papers are not marked well. They will go to mark. Sometimes the person is not even in the right frame of mind. Somebody even goes and add the wrong marks. No, somebody, look, when I completed GID, my name was put on the board as I'm referred in mass communication. Mass communication, actually, I taught a lot of my colleagues because I had a very good understanding. They all passed. So I was home, the phone calls to Elvis, hey, you cry, how do you feel? How do you feel? People were calling me. Are you sure the results have been pasted on the board? When I came for and I said, my name is Darko, but this is not possible. I will challenge the results. Hey, they say if you go and challenge, only next year, before you can graduate, they will then bring external examiners to come and I said, don't worry. I said, I'll go and challenge it. Then I went to challenge the registrar. When they brought it, the lecturer himself, when I called him, said, it's not possible. You can't fail my subject because you can't fail my subject. Do you know what happened? The lecturer gave the right marks. The registrar added the numbers, decided to ignore one mark and go and pick one and put only one there to say I failed. So when I checked and then I came to tell them that if you fail any subject, go and check. More than 10-15 people went to check and they didn't fail. It's the registrar who just added wrong marks and gave people wrong marks. I think WAEC gives a lot of students wrong grades when they are doing the additions. I think they give students a lot of wrong grades. And I think that's about time somebody calls for a review. A review of what WAEC has done, where a team will be set up to sit and say, let's review mathematics, all the papers that have been marked. I am sure and I believe that they'll find a lot of errors in addition of marks and things. And I think that until we do that, we'll just be putting children through a lot of trauma. What we are doing, people discuss failure as if it is something that is joy.
And at this level, you don't have the opportunity for a remarking.
You don't know, even if you want to call for remark in WAEC, what is the process? Somebody called me and said, I just gave the WAEC, somebody I know that they should call them and ask them, but I don't even know the process of remarking in WAEC. These are things we should I believe WAEC has been failing a lot of students wrongly. I am of the view that WAEC has been failing a lot of students wrongly. Somebody passed elective science, all the 3 science in the electives, and they said the person has failed core science. And I said, all the things they call science, they are in the elective science. How the person pass all the 3? And
you pass physics, biology, chemistry,
and then the core science,
integrated science.
And the person fails. And I said, but who comes out with this idea that somebody who has passed all this will fail core science? And these are the reasons I believe that there's a lot of wrong going on in WAEC's marking scheme. When they mark, the people who add the marks, I believe that some people are adding wrong marks and they are giving people wrong grades. Some of them may even interchange people's grades for other people. That's why I believe that we need to do a total overhaul and review of WAEC's work. And you see, this time it can easily be done with AI and the rest. We can have systems that every question paper can just be scanned or marked, answer sheet can just be marked, scanned, and things can be done. And I can tell you, it could review because a lot of people I believe have been feel wrongly. See, when people talk about the WASI and the rest, and we talk as if the students are not brilliant. All these kids that we even say are failed masters, they are very brilliant children. They are very brilliant children. They have no reason to fail, but the system sometimes can fail you in certain ways. That's why I'm calling for a total review of WAEC.
All right. Thank you.
I want